everybody. How are you guys doing today? The day is finally here. It is Wednesday, April 4th. I was hoping to have this done on April 1st, but everything else happened and it just didn't happen. So today's a nice day. And so I'm going to see how much of this I can get done out here on the little front porch. So what I am doing today is I'm going to get my seeds started. I've got the 200 count cell trays. I've got the water trays for them to sit in. And I have in this tote, I have a mixture of, from the dollar store, Dollar General, all-purpose potting soil. It's True Living. Grab 3 bags of the potting soil and 1 bag of the American Seed starting potting mix, which was, as you can see, $4. So I mixed those all together, so it's a 3-to-1 ratio. I added in 2 quarts of water to it. I used my apple butter ladle that we used this fall when we had a big copper kettle out here and we made apple butter over the fire. It's a, I don't know, this is actually a pool cue, and the ladle part, or the spatula part, off of a grill spatula that had broken. Joe clamped them together and gave us a nice long handle. So anyways, a lot of nothing about nothing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up these cells with this potting mix, and just, it's kind of hard to see because you're down in and I can't get an angle on my tripod. What I am doing, hi guys, hi Ziva, what are you doing? You gonna help me plant seeds today? Hi Eleanor, you planting seeds too? In the soil mix, where there's the little sticks, we don't want those. We throw them out. We don't want any of that kind of stuff in there. And so we just want to fill up these cells. Guys, you're super cute, but you're kind of in the way. Yeah, you're kind of in the way. And I only dampen the soil just to make it so that the seeds don't blow away when you stick them in it. And then beyond that, it's really quite simple. Level them off. And that one is done. So that took me, what, like 10 seconds? 15 seconds maybe? That's done. I can put that in up here and get them stacked up. I will actually put them in the tray. So right now, Xavier is inside organizing my seeds for me, according to my list of seeds, so that I can just go right down and not get confused. Did I do these? Did I not do these? So, and if all the cells are not completely filled right now, that's okay too, because we're going to go back through after the seeds in and give it another light sprinkle of soil on top just to cover them a little bit. What we're looking at, not overly filled. Like I said, I want room to go back through and put a little top on them. I may actually just, rake some of this one off. This one looks a lot better. So we'll go through. I'll get a seed in each of them. I already recruited Xavier. He's going to have to help me today. Okay, so I've got everything together. Got my list of plants and how many I'm going to do of each of them. I only did 5 trays to get started as far as filling them with soil. Get through these because I know I'm going to get stopped in the middle of them and they're not going to get finished. So I have, these are my absolute favorite pens, if anybody can find them. There they are. They are called B2P. They're bottle to pen. They are made from recycled water bottles, and they're gel ink. I found them at Staples a number of years ago. Absolutely love them. They come in blue and black, and I think red also, but I only ever use the blue and black. I just absolutely love them, and the fact that it's recycled plastic is even better. So they are working real well on these popsicle sticks. So we're going to get started with some oregano, and I'll run down before, because you guys don't need to watch me plant all these. That's going to be boring as anything. But I'll run down one more time everything that we're growing this year. I've got oregano, basil, bush beans, Detroit red beets, and albino beets, Tokyo something. I can't remember right now what it's called. Tokyo Bacana, which is a Chinese cabbage. It's like a bok choy. Broccoli, Murdoch cabbage, mustard, cantaloupe, which the mustard doesn't get planted until the fall, so I'm not even going to worry about that right now, but I do have it in here. Cantaloupe, cauliflower, celery, cayenne pepper, cilantro, white corn and blue corn, cucumbers, dill, ginger, which I still have to order. That's in my Baker Creek cart that I still haven't yet to get. Kale, lettuce, marjoram. Onions, I have seeds inside that I'm starting. I'm attempting to start. I have no idea how well they're going to grow. I'm just going to go end up buying onion sets because I need 540 of them is what I'd like to grow this year. I do have a place in the garden for those. I don't know if I'm going to stick to doing them or if I'm just going to give up and go buy a 50-pound bag of onions and just work off of those. Sometimes buying in bulk like that is easier and more cost effective and a heck of a lot quicker than trying to grow your own when it's something like that. I've never had success growing onions. I'm going to try it again up here, but we'll see. If it doesn't look like it's going to go, I'll just go buy a 50-pound bag of onions. Not a big deal. I don't know if you guys can hear or not. The frogs are in the water over here. We have a little water hole on the side property, and the frogs are over here just going crazy chirping. So we also doing parsley, peas, potatoes, large pumpkins, bottle squash, radishes, sage, spinach, summer squash, winter squash, strawberries. Also have to still order my strawberries. Haven't gotten them in yet. Thyme, tomatoes. I've got cherry tomatoes, 2 different types. Cherokee purples, Amish paste. And then for my slicers, I've got Mark Twain's and beef steaks. So, watermelon, zucchinis, jalapenos, sweet peppers, serrano peppers, banana peppers, echinacea or coneflower, stevia, and sunflowers. And then in our raised beds, I'm doing Brussels sprouts, carrots, sweet potatoes. Also have to get sweet potato slips, lavender, and rosemary. So, and while I'm not, Xavier asked me today, he goes, why are we growing lavender when none of us like lavender? He's right, we don't. I don't actually care for the smell of lavender much at all, but it's very healthful for you, and I know a lot of other people enjoy lavender, so I would like to get more into doing the natural herbal remedies and cures, and maybe some tinctures. There's just so much to learn, and I know lavender plays a big part in all of that, so I'm hoping that I can learn to enjoy the smell of it. But for right now, as you can see, it's kind of breezy, so I've got to kind of play this by ear as to whether or not planting out here is going to work. It's actually warmer outside right now than it is in the house, so that's why I'm trying to stay outside. So Fedco seeds, anytime they have the ultra tiny seeds, this happens to be the Greek oregano. So anytime they have the ultra tiny seeds, they put them in another seed pouch inside the big seed pouch. So that's kind of cool. And these are painfully small. I don't know if you can, I mean, everything's kind of clustered in there, but they are just incredibly tiny, tiny seeds. So I only need 20 of the oreganos, which is 2 rows. Each tray contains 200 cells, so it's 20 rows of 10. Excuse me. So we're going to see how we can do this. I have no idea how to do these. They're super tiny. Maybe like that. I like planting the big seeds. It goes a lot faster and works better for my brain. This is very tedious with these little ones. However, I'm going to have enough oregano seeds to last for like the next 50 years. But and then I'm just going to go over, just push them down a little bit. I don't want to cover them completely. Don't want to bury them, but I also don't want them to blow away. So we're just going to push those down a little bit. I have my tote with more dirt right here in front of me. And when the seeds aren't so tiny, I'll just wait to cover them so I can sprinkle the entire tray. But with these being so incredibly tiny, I don't want them blowing away. And then I'm just going to put my sticks on the back side, just in one row. And then we have basil, or as some people call it, basil. I don't know what the right way is, but I say basil. So we're doing 15 of these. So there's 10, and I have to do another 5. Excuse me. Maybe I'll just do 20. It's easier. The wind's picking up, so I'm just going to go ahead and tap them down as I'm going. Like I said, I could do these in the house, other than I don't want to. I don't want to be in the house today. It is a nice day. Temperature's fantastic. It's probably about 60 degrees right now. It's supposed to get up to 72 this afternoon, which that will be the warmest that we've had thus far. So, and I can adjust these a little bit as far as my count, because I have the extra cells. If, you know, typically they don't all come up, so that'll also help to accommodate that issue. Next is bush beans, and I have so many bush beans, but we are going to start out with these, which are striped bush beans. They are a 55-day seed, so 55 days to germination, or to harvest. So that's exciting. And again, they're like Tic Tacs. They're about the size of a Tic Tac. Much easier to work with. And these tiny little cells, everything's going to need up potted. What I'm going to do for my up potting is water bottles. So we have an excessive amount of water bottles right now, and we've been saving them. So as we drink them, instead of recycling them, I'm just saving them. And I'm going to cut the tops off, and then I will be able to use those for transplants. Again, I do everything that I can to keep my costs down, because you start getting into all the high dollar everything, which is really cool, except it does not make it economical for you to do this kind of stuff. And for me, for us, part of why we do this is so that we have fresh food, we have the enjoyment of growing it ourselves and seeing that accomplishment, but it's also a money issue. You know, it's cheaper for me to buy a 25 cent, 50 cent, $2 pack of seeds, $3, even $4 pack of seeds, than it is to go out and buy whatever vegetable. So, how many of these am I doing? 204. Well, shoot, this is almost an entire tray. I should have put these in their own tray. Oh well. And of course, like everybody else that grows anything, I will be watching these starting probably tomorrow. Probably check them tomorrow to see if anything's showing, which I know it's not going to be, but it's still an excitement. I planted a tote of radishes a few weeks back, and you know, I threw a post up on Facebook, totally joking, obviously. I'm like, I'm so disappointed in these radishes because I planted them 8.5 hours ago, and there has not been a single sprout in any of the 5 times that I've checked them. Obviously, it's a joke. I know they don't sprout that fast. They did take about 5 days to germinate and sprout. Now they're all coming up. They're doing real good. They're in the house on the plant stand. So they got a little bit leggy. So what I did was I put some more soil, packed the soil down around them, and pushed them down in a little bit. And they seem to get a little bit stronger. I'm also brushing my hands over them every day to try to make them a little bit stronger because it hasn't been warm enough to open the windows too often yet. So they haven't been able to get much movement as far as airflow like that. The sun's peeking in and out today. I don't know. I guess I'm standing in the way. There's Panty Pig. Willa's over there. She's actually over there just outside of the view. Dogs are out roaming around. The calves are doing good. Toby, the little calf, started drinking water from a bucket this morning. Trying to get some extra water into him. He had a little bit of his stool with the adjustments is not where it's supposed to be. So trying to make sure that he's staying hydrated. And he started eating some grain this morning, which is the first time he's done that. So Milo, the Holstein bull that's here that we're watching for somebody, he's going to go to his new home on the 14th. I have to take him downstate. So he's got a long ride in front of him. But he's doing well, and he's tall. He's real tall. And I just love him to pieces. I said to Joe this morning, he said, I'm half tempted to just go buy her a different, smaller calf, one that can ride in a crate, and keep Milo for myself, because I absolutely love him. And I was told very quickly, no, I'm not doing that. So now I'm probably being a little bit more meticulous about this right now, just because these are all the bean seeds, and I'm just popping them down vertically. Technically, with green beans, I could just direct sow these, but I have the cells, so why not do it this way? Make sure they get a chance, fighting chance in the beginning. There's some things I'm not going to bother with. I'm not going to do cucumbers. I'm not going to do pumpkins or the squash or the zucchini. The stuff that, you know, grows really good regardless. Not doing sunflowers. But all the other stuff I'm going to go ahead and get done in cells. Abby, did you just catch a frog? Nope, it was a stick. Honestly, would not have been surprised if she would have had a frog in her mouth. Oh, Abby, you're soaked. You are soaked, kiddo. I tried growing microgreens for some fodder for the chickens this year. I didn't use these beans, but I had, you know, all store-bought kidney beans, navy beans, and pinto beans. And I tried using those. None of them worked very well. So I don't know what I did wrong. Because I watch TikToks and everybody else does it. I just don't know what I did wrong. But they did not grow for me. They ended up stinking. So they started to sprout and then they'd stink. And I'd end up giving them to the birds anyways, which they still ate them. It just wasn't exactly the way I was hoping it would be. So that tray is completely full now, and I'm just going to give them a light covering. Since these are the beans, be a little bit more. So you will see that my tray is sagging in the middle. I've got a lot of play here. The cells trays are so shallow that they are not sitting in the water trays very well. So, lesson learned. Guess I needed a different tray. I don't know if I needed the water trays, what I'm calling the water trays. They're the plant trays that don't have the holes in them. They're the standard 1020s, and I thought that's what my cell trays were, but they're just not deep enough. So my cell tray is only 1 inch deep, and my other tray is like 1.5 inches deep. So I'll make it work this time. Oh, you're soaked too. Oh my goodness. And Oakley's learning how to come up the steps. Zeeb is absolutely dripping. Come on, Oakley. You can do it, buddy. Come on, baby. Oh, good job. Little man just came up the steps for the first time. So, sorry, my dogs are my life. They are so important to me and genuinely get excited for everything that they do. I finally smartened up. Smartened. I don't think that's a word. How about wised up? Finally got smarter. There you go. I got all my beans done, and I took the one tray in already. And I came back out, and I got to the point of doing the bok choy, and I'm like, as the wind's picking up, I decided to take my marker and make my little divots. So that's a little bit easier. It gives you a little well to stick your seed in. These little bok choy seeds, they are small, but they're not painfully small. I am thoroughly enjoying this beautiful day that we're having. Listening to the birds and the frogs. Absolutely love frogs. Hearing them. Don't necessarily enjoy holding them. I will. And I think they're kind of cool if you do get to the point of holding them. You know, if you catch one or whatever. They're kind of cool to watch how they function, but not necessarily on my list of need to do's. Like, I'm not a reptile kind of person. And I know a frog's an amphibian, but that's still... I'm the kind of person, when I have a phobia of something, that's what I go and get. So I was afraid of snakes. So to get over my fear of snakes, I went and bought a snake. And we had her for a little black and white king snake we named Xavier. And because we didn't know if it was a boy or girl. And we had it for, I don't know, 3 years, something like that. I finally gave it to somebody. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I think I just double seeded all of those holes. That's okay. Just more chance for germination, right? I think I'm going to end up having to go in the house because wind is ridiculous.
Just one per hole. Also, this seems really dry.
It is. It dried out. I have to get a mister, which I don't have right now. I think there's a spray bottle up above the linen closet in the bathroom, but I don't know what was in it, so I have to check it.
Just like, I use this?
Yeah.
Hole. And one per thing, right?
Yeah. And then I'll go get a little bucket of dirt and bring it in. Sucks that we have to be inside because everything's set up out there. Once we're done, you don't have to worry about covering them up, because once we're done, we'll just take a handful of dirt and put over the top of them. Those, you're doing which ones? Cayennes? 12?
Yes.
Do 12 of them.
What is this? 10?
10, yeah. Please put cantaloupe.
C-A-N-T-A-L-O-U-P-E.
That's E. No, you are right. Oh, dang, I was wrong.
Told you I could spell.
Well, then quit asking me how to spell stuff.
Well, most stuff I can. It's just the easy words I can't.
Oh, okay. I feel like 10 cantaloupes not enough.
None of us like cantaloupe. No, you're the only one who likes cantaloupe.
No, Joe loves cantaloupe. Plus, you know, there's the whole...
I like the green one.
We do the honeydews, too. Plus, there's the whole farm stand. But I just have to watch my spacing on the ground. That's why these are the way they are.
Well, this is a nightmare.
They're not as bad as the celery was. That was bad. Cilantro. I do not like cilantro.
Isn't that the stink bug one?
Yes. It smells like stink bugs to me. At least they're bigger seeds.
Oh, no, they're like 4 in that one.
Okay. Well, if you can't pick them out, then I'll just have to go through them after they start to sprout. Know where you stopped, because since you're doing 12, we'll do 1 marker at the top row, and then your 2 extra cells will each get a marker. Does that make sense? So I got 1,000 cells filled, and they're on the shelves. I still have to add water to them. It's only 5 trays, but we got probably half of the seeds in, if not a little bit more. My issue is, as I said before when I was filling them with dirt, the cells are too short for these trays. And while it's painstaking, I cut the top lip off of the entire tray. And by doing that, the cells fit perfectly. So they're now the right height. I don't have to use a gallon of water like I have in the one tray in there. It actually took an entire gallon to get the water deep enough that the bottom of the cells were just barely touching to absorb the water. So I guess that's going to be my task now, is to sit and rip down, I don't know. I have 15 cell trays altogether. I may as well just rip down 15 of the water trays, and then they're good to go for the next time. We did, the wind's picking up again. We had a little bit of a break there, just, because boredom and planting seeds is not the most exciting thing in the world. We took a little bit of a break. Xavier went and did his thing. I went out and hung out with the calves for a little bit. And then we had a real quick rainstorm blow in. And we threw the calves in their hut, locked them up so that, because they're still so young, they're a week and a half and a month and half of a week, because they're still so young, I don't want them to get wet and then not have a chance to completely dry out before the nighttime temperatures drop. So we had the house open wide, we got the calves in, and no sooner it started to rain on us as we were getting the calves locked in, we came inside, we ran through, we closed the windows, and I don't think it was a full 30 seconds after we got the last window closed that the rainstorm was over. I was so disappointed, because then I walked outside, the sun came out, which was great, but the humidity came up, and up here where we are, we don't have humidity very much anymore. So anytime that we do have a humid day, it's hard for us to deal with now. We came from down by Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which is always humid. And sorry, I've got dogs down here at my feet, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm not stepping on anybody. But yeah, the humidity down in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, it's a different grow zone, and it's 3.5 hours south of us, and that's enough of a difference that it genuinely makes the summers uncomfortable, and the winters seem warmer, but they're more penetrating when it does get cold. So it's colder up here, but it's a drier cold. It's not as miserable. We can be outside 30-degree weather in a t-shirt, and it feels good. I think we peaked at like 77 today, which is amazing. But it's, we have this constant breeze going all the time. So our humidity's real low, and it just doesn't ever, very, very rarely does it get miserable. So my chore for the rest of this afternoon, I guess, because Joe's working late, Xavier's doing his thing. My chore for the rest of the afternoon is going to be to cut down the seed trays so that my cell trays fit. And then I can get water in all of them. And I think I'm going to be done for today with those. And I'll get back at it tomorrow, I'm sure. I'd like to get everything in the trays, but I want them to be able to be watered right away. Otherwise, I'm just feel like I'm wasting my time. So I'm going to get off of here for today. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. I'm dirty. I'm sweaty now since the humidity kicked in. It's starting to blow out now, but it got real hot and humid for a while. I'm going to get to these. Then it's time to feed animals, and eventually time to feed people. And, you know, the longer days, we don't eat early. We don't eat early anyways, ever. But the longer days, it takes us, it'll be 7:30 till I start to make dinner. So we always eat late in the summertime. Last night we had, you can see our fire pit out there. It was nice enough last night that, and Joe was working late. He had a real rough day at work. So we had a campfire going for him when he got home. Sorry, Rusty. I set the tripod on the dog. Oops. We had a campfire going for him, and dinner was ready when he got home. So we were able to sit and actually see a couple minutes of the sunset with him. And, yeah. So I'm going to get off here. I'm going to get busy. I hope everybody has a wonderful afternoon and evening. Hit the, if you wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate if you'd hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. We are trying to grow our channel. So any support that we get is greatly appreciated. And, you know, follow along, watch what we do. And we're going to fail, and Lord only knows how many of these seeds are going to get started, are going to actually grow. I don't have grow lights in the living room, so I'm hoping last year's seed starts did really well, so I'm hoping that this year's do real well also. And if you're wondering what I'm looking at, I'm looking in my living room window. So everybody have a great night. I'll talk to you guys later.